Hi, Robin here. And today I thought we would dive into one of those pesky little things that we all do. And, well, let's just get into it. So, excuses. Think of excuses as those little stories that we tell ourselves and sometimes others to explain why things didn't quite go as planned or why we couldn't follow through on something. They're like the escape routes that we take when we don't want to face something or admit that we aren't committed to perhaps our journey or whatever it is. Like things like blaming the traffic for being late to a meeting or saying you're too tired to honor a commitment you made, perhaps to yourself even. Excuses are basically our way of saying it's not my fault, but deep down, we know it's really just an out. So let's talk about excuses, why we use them, and the strategies to move beyond them. I'm going to give you 10 excuses commonly used to avoid taking action or responsibility. And I want you to count how many of them you have told others or yourself. No judgment, remember, we are just doing a tally. So, number one, I don't have enough time to do it right now. Number two, I'm afraid I'll fail, so it's better not to try. Number three, the timing isn't right because of insert external circumstance. Number four, I'll start tomorrow, next week, next month. Number five, I want it to be perfect, so I need more time to prepare. Number six, I don't have the money, resources, tools to get started. Number seven, I have more important things to focus on right now. Number eight, I'm not good enough, smart enough, qualified enough to do this. Number nine, it's not my fault. It's because of insert external factor or person. Number 10, I'm waiting for the right inspiration or motivation to come. Now, I can honestly say I have used every single one of those and on multiple occasions. Excuses are like the safety net we create to shield ourselves from discomfort, uncertainty, or responsibility. They provide a convenient escape route when we're faced with challenges or tasks that we really don't want to have to deal with or seem a bit daunting. At the core, excuses often stem from a combination of fear, insecurity, and avoidance. So, why do they roll off our tongues so easily? One of the most common reasons for making excuses is the fear of failure. We're afraid of falling short of expectations, disappointing others, or even ourselves. So instead of risking failure, we come up with reasons why we can't even try. Human beings are creatures of habit, and we tend to gravitate towards what's familiar and comfortable. When we're stepping out of our comfort zones, it often requires a bit of effort and vulnerability. So we use excuses to justify staying where we are, even if it means on missing out on growth opportunities. Now, change often brings discomfort, whether it's the discomfort of uncertainty, discomfort of hard work, or the discomfort of facing our own limitations. Excuses allow us to avoid confronting these uncomfortable truths and maintaining a sense of control over our lives. We all have an image of ourselves that we want to protect, a perception of who we are and what we're capable of. Making excuses helps us preserve this self-image by avoiding situations where we might risk failure or embarrassment. Excuses shift the blame away from ourselves and onto external factors. It's easier to blame lack of time, resources, or support than to take responsibility for our own actions or lack of. Excuses can offer short term relief from feelings of guilt, anxiety, or inadequacy. They provide temporary justifications for procrastination or inaction. They're allowing us to indulge in immediate gratification without considering any long term consequences. Now, sometimes our inner critic gets the best of us, filling our heads with self doubt and negative beliefs. Excuses often stem from these negative thought patterns that convince us that we're not capable or worthy enough to pursue our goals. And then when you understand these underlying reasons for making excuses, it can empower us to change them and take some steps towards personal growth and our own accountability. It's about recognizing that while excuses may offer a temporary comfort, they ultimately hinder our ability to reach the full potential and to really live our true lives. So, how do you move past excuses, that escape route, and really step into your own power? So, when you move beyond excuses, it requires some self awareness, some accountability, and a willingness to take action. Now, I'm going to give you some steps that will help you move beyond excuses. So, the first one is you need to recognize the patterns. So, start by becoming aware of the excuses you tend to make. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself when faced with challenges or opportunities for growth. Challenge the excuse. Question the validity of the excuse. Are they based on genuine limitations, or they are simply a way of avoiding discomfort or responsibility? Challenge yourself to differentiate between the legitimate barriers and an excuse. And three is take ownership. Acknowledge your role in creating your circumstances and recognize that you have the power to change them. When you take ownership of your choices and actions, it's the first step in overcoming the excuses. You need to set some goals. Define your objectives and identify the steps necessary to achieve them. When you break your goals down into smaller, manageable tasks, it makes progress more attainable and less daunting. You're going to create some accountability. If you share your goals with someone you trust or join a supportive community that can help you stay accountable, having that partner can help you stay motivated and committed to your objectives. But don't forget you need to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself as you work towards overcoming excuses. It's about catching yourself. So understand that setbacks and challenges are a natural part of the process. And treat yourself with compassion and understanding. It's about progress, not perfection. Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the obstacles or the limitations, focus on finding solutions and taking steps towards the goal. If you embrace the problem-solving mindset, you remain creatively open to alternatives. You don't get hit with that wall. Stay flexible. Be willing to adapt and adjust your approach as you need it. Life is unpredictable and circumstances change along the way. So stay flexible and resilient in face of that flow. And you need to be persistent and persevere. So keep moving forward, even when faced with setbacks or obstacles. Persistence and perseverance are key ingredients to overcoming excuses and achieving a lasting change. By adopting these strategies and cultivating a mindset of accountability and action, you can break free from the cycle of excuses and could truly create the life that you want. So step outside of that comfort zone and take action. Don't make the excuse to wait till the time is right. So I hope that has given you some tangible steps that you can take to get out of that loop that we tend to get ourselves caught up in. It's easier to make the excuse than to actually consider taking the steps and actions. Now, don't forget my book, Awake, Aware, Conscious. Again, more tools in here and talking about strategies that can help you move past getting stuck in the excuses. I hope this has been of benefit for you and given you some strategies that will be helpful. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it. And don't forget, check out my other videos on the channel. Thank you for being here today.